Hello and welcome back to Factorio, and before we actually start doing anything, I'm going to do one last time, at least in the beginning of this series, say, if you like this video, consider giving it a like. If you didn't, then dislike by all means. Subscribe if you want to know when I release my next video. And do not forget to comment if you have something you want to ask or say. Do you want to know when I release a whole new series? Then consider checking my Twitter. Feel like supporting the channel? Then head on over to my Patreon page and check it out. Both links can be found in the description down below or on the channel's About page. And last but not least, a playlist link can be found in the description down below as well. And with that out of the way, we are going to have to look into the science, because optics, as I did in the very last bit of the last episode. Sorry, my throat there almost croaked. And yeah, we're going to have to look over the science. We are going to need a bunch more stone. We need a lot more stone. We are going to just super quickly do this while we look at science and a bunch of other stuff. Sorry. Oh. There we go. Is this? I'm going to have to quickly check. Interface. Not sure if I can change that now. Yeah, and as you can see, my active quick bars are 4, because you can set it to 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this is where you do it if you want to do it. Sorry. You can also get some other stuff changed in here. Well, there's a lot of settings you can mess around with, but I'm not going to do that. Right now, I'm just checking something. No, not mod settings. Other. No. Sounds. No, not sounds. Graphics. No. Whatever. I didn't want to have the game be paused, but whatever. We are going to just quickly check. We have done, if we go down to the bottom where the green stuff are, we have done a bunch of science. We have done automation and turrets and military and logistics and steel processing and optics and stone walls. But it's still only red science, like automation science packs, so it's the easiest so far. But we are going to do electronics, because electronics opens up a bunch of new stuff. If you see here on the right, where you have the tree, like there's a bunch of stuff that requires the electronics to be able to research it. So we are going to start that one up. The next one is Steel Axe. The Steel Axe just makes the character's mining speed increase by 100%, so that's really nice, especially in the beginning. And then we will do this one. We will research logistic science pack. So we and this means we can actually make the next science pack, which requires both red and green. We're going to do that one, and then we're going to do heavy armor to get better armor, just in case some enemies comes knocking on our door. Character logistics trash slots, we don't actually need it. What I'm going to do is do weapon shooting speed 1. I'm going to do the shooting speed first because, believe it or not, shooting speed, bullet shooting speed plus 10% is actually better than getting more damage. Getting them both is even better, but shooting speed means you kill faster, which means you might actually survive in a case of emergency. But with that, we have all the research queued up, so I'm going to see if I can find some rocks to break. Here we go. Yeah, and we are very close to oil, so I'm probably going to make my oil setup down here because it's probably a lot of oil as well. Yeah, it's quite a lot of oil. So I'm probably going to do all of that down here when we get there. Let's get some rocks in the meantime, and we are going to queue up all the stone furnaces. We are going to need a lot of them. We are going to need 48 times 2, and then probably 24 to make stone, because we are going to need stone brick, and you need to mine stone and put it into a furnace of some kind to make stone bricks. So this is a quite complex game if you're new, but there's no real reason to be overwhelmed. Just look at like the recipes. What raw resource do I need to make it? You get the resource and then you click whatever you want to craft in here by hand, of course, to craft it. So it's not that complex. It's may look like it's very complex. It will be a lot more complex when we start getting into the automation with assembly machines, but we will get there soon. Let's see, we have a bunch of rocks up here. I'm going to take these rocks and then we'll probably going to go back. I'm not sure how much stone we have in the box I set up in the last episode. We will need a lot of stone furnaces, and stone furnaces can be used to make boilers. So making a lot of stone furnaces isn't actually a waste, and you may always use them as a furnace. So let's see here. This belt here is where we are going to put all the plates. So we are going to, the reason why I'm having this here is because I'm going to show you real quickly. Remove that one. Is because we're going to put this one here, we need one space here to put the inserter, which will grab whatever's on this belt, put it into the stone furnace, and whatever gets done in the stone furnace gets put on this belt. So we are going to need space for this. Wonder how I should do this, if I should do it the lazy way or the more... Nah, I'm going to need a lot of them, so I probably should do it the less lazy way. At least this. So I'm not gonna have to fix too much. Like that. Oops. Yeah, you can press R on something which is already placed down to rotate it, so there's... It's not the end of the world if it's not rotated way around, right way around, because you can change it, so... Going to need more. Like that. Like that. Going to need this. Yeah, and now you can see why we need the underground belt and why we will need the splitter. The splitter splits 50-50. So, for example, we'll remove that. If we put down 2 here, it splits 50-50. So 1 on the left side and 1 on the right side. And if we do 2 more, it's 50-50. So a splitter always puts 50% on each output. An underground belt takes something underground and up to the next area. This can be a very good thing, but depending on how you build, it can be very bad. I'm going to show you why. If we have underground belt and we have something which comes over here and do this, it doesn't work. This now, these 2 in the middle is connected, but these 2 on the outer ends isn't. If I remove this, these 2 are. So I'm gonna have to be a bit careful with underground belts because they do connect. The same color underground belts connect to each other. They are red and blue of them, which doesn't connect to, like, blue can't connect to yellow, red can't connect to blue, and so on. But yeah, you will need to be a bit careful because they do connect to each other if you make it incorrectly. If you put them in a way where they can connect, they will connect. I'm going to take these ones. I'm going to actually limit you. And yeah, a chest, if you click on it, left click, and this box, red cross here, if you click on it, you can limit the chest. I'm not holding anything. I just clicked on the X, and then I'm moving the mouse around, and if I then, like, say over here, click, it will block off the red so nothing can get put into here, and only the non-red, gray, white area, whatever you want to call that color, will be filled up. So for example, like this. Let's see, I'm gonna take a bit more of those. We are going to build another one. I'm going to build it right up next to... Alright, I do need more. I need a lot more of the iron and a teensy bit of copper, maybe. No, I actually don't need more copper. So... Alright, I do need one more of those. I used it down here, so... there we go. So from here and down. And if I have something in my hand and hold shift, I can make a ghost, like a blueprint. It might be useful, it might not. Gives you kind of a planning tool for if you don't want to place stuff, but you want to get a rough idea of where stuff is going to be. That's a really good tool to use. Gonna need a lot more iron. A lot more iron. Thankfully the belts is made 2. Like if I click once I make 2 belts. That's really nice, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And then I think yeah. How this is working is to explain, like how to explain this, how it's going to work is the ores will come from up here and down, and it will be sent to the outer area of this belt. A belt can hold different things. So one belt can hold a certain amount of items. If I could get it right. Could hold a certain amount of items on one side of the belt, and then the equal amount on the next side. So here we have a belt full of stuff, but the 2 sides have different things. So one belt here, it contains 10 things, but 5 of them is stone and 5 of them are coal. And that's the thing, really. The thing which you can use to your advantage. To mix stuff, to use less belts and make less of a mess, but sometimes you might need more than one full belt of something, so let's see what kind of mess we can do here. And that's the thing. Copper is going to go to one of them, iron is going to go to the next one, and this underground belt will be connected up to coal, because the stone furnaces do need a fuel of some kind, of some sort. So, which means we are going to have to use a splitter to split here, like this, and we're going to have to run belts. And the reason why I'm running it around the stone is because I want to put miners there. So this is a bit of future-proofing, just to make it less inconvenient. I could just say, whatever, I don't care, I'm just going to go straight up right through and then just... And here we're going to get a bit of a sample of how it's going to work. This splitter splits from up here into this one, and then the rest goes on over here, which will be used if I had enough iron. I could show you. Going to need more, way more. But yeah, anyway, so the thing is, coal comes in, it gets split, so it gets to the two different smelting columns, and then it gets split, so it gets to both sides of in each and every column. So this belt here gets coal, and the belt here gets coal, because where, like right here, it goes one way and then it goes the other way and it splits. It's something which can be a bit messy when demonstrating. Basically, it goes right here, it goes this way, while right here it goes this way. So it goes two ways, which means we need a splitter to split it both ways, so it gets where it needs to go. And by doing this, I'm putting the splitter there in case we are going to make one more, or even more than just one, which we probably will be doing, so just to lessen my headaches for myself when I need to put down. It's really easy to just put in a splitter, but just showing you what you can do. So, and as you can see here, the coal is very scarce. What I'm going to do here is an output priority. You can see this arrow here. It's on the upper, it's to the smelting columns, which we don't want. We don't want to supply them first. We want the electricity to keep on going, so we are going to put it to right. So all the coal will keep, like, the smelters will keep this belt with full of coal first. The excess will go to the smelters. Now, this amount of coal isn't going to cut it, so we are going to have to put in more miners. Probably not gonna need that many more than we already have, so I have to fuel these and take a bit more there. I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need way more iron for this. And just to clarify, I'm not actually building really big. If you compare to a bunch of other stuff, like other YouTubers and what I have done in the past, this is not building big. This is just building. Not necessarily small, but not big. It's not big. But of course, your perspectives are a bit destroyed when you have done basically a mega base before. There are a bunch of really good videos of people making mega bases. Factorio, the Factorio community is a really, I would say, a good one. You can see very often on like Reddit or somewhere where someone like posts a picture of their base or pictures of the base or a video even, and asks what do you think about my base, and usually I've not seen that much, like it's very often just helpful comments about where they could have done better, or asking is this a design feature or is it just a mishap, or like it's actually a really good community, I would say. I'm not that involved myself, I just love the game, so. But yeah, this is going to take a while. Probably should expand this. Yeah, taking down the burner mining drills before. As you can see, I have 1,000 hours, and I didn't calculate how much iron I would have needed. You need a insane amount of iron to get started. This game, in the beginning at the very least, is iron, 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 and then a teensy bit of copper. And then when you get to a certain point of the game, it's copper, 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 and iron, 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 iron. So, but yeah, it's a very good game, and I haven't even done the inserters yet. That's okay. Let's not think about that for right now, and just put these down. Okay, not enough. Let's build them all. The small electric poles is made 2 at a time, so 16 times 2 is 32. Which is probably enough. Probably, I'm not sure. It might be, it might not be. You never know. And these are in the way, but okay, let's move them. I am gonna have to set them up somewhere, but let's move them. Sorry. Gonna have to find something to wetten my throat a bit. Slightly too dry, and talking at that point isn't necessarily a good thing to do, but whatever. I'm gonna have to, once this episode is done, and like 1 minute left for the 30-minute mark. But yes, as you can see here, this is how it's going to work. Coal is on one side of the belt, iron is on the other, and we will have the inserters. I'm going to take these. Let's quickly run a demonstration of it. And you can do it on the bottom here. It doesn't need to be all the way up there. So like this, and there we go. It's now inserting coal and iron ore, and it's melting. It makes the iron plates, and this inserter is putting it on this belt, which then brings it to wherever we want it to go. First off, we want to make in these assembly machines we want to make science. But with that, I'm gonna have to say we haven't done any science at all because we don't have any red science. We don't have any red science packs being made, so but at least we are coming along. The real shortage here is iron, actually, to make the belts, to bring everything, and then we're gonna have to make all the inserters, and then we are going to have to make the production line to make the red science. But with that, as I said, we have come to the end of this episode. Let's pick this one up and boom. And with that, I'm gonna have to say thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.